Chapter 629, The Blood Crow King. This chapter is updated by Novels.pl. The entire world seemed to have become a red-hot stove. The grass and trees on the ground became flying ash in an instant. On the back of the flaming red crow prince stood a golden-robed elder holding a staff in his hand. A blood-red beard hung down 3 feet from his chin, and his eyes were deeply sunken. His entire body projected a faint sense of evil tendencies. Besides him, there was also the body of a young man on the back of the flaming red crow prince. I already killed the Serene Blue Emissary's assassin, the disciple of the Yin and Yang sect, Lin Yue, and I have already brought him back in completion of my orders. Immediately afterward, the golden-robed elder's gaze turned toward Zhang Yuochen and became dark and sinister. In a raspy voice, he said, "Young master, you seem to have run into some problems. Blood Crow King, you have come back at just the right time. Quick, take a guess at who the person standing in front of you is," Di said with a smile. The golden-robed elder was one of the most powerful warriors under Di's command. The Blood Crown King's status was even higher than that of the Ice Demon. The Ice Demon was a powerful master of spiritual power in the Ice series, while the Blood Crow King was a beast training master. Regardless of whether the Serene Blue Emissary was killed by a warrior of the Heaven Realm in the Yin and Yang sect, or whether he had been killed by the Red Wish Emissary, the black market leaders still needed an explanation. That was why Di had sent the Blood Crow King to kill Lin Yue. He was going to take Lin Yue's body back to the evil Emperor City and hand it over to the leaders of the black market. Di had calculated that the Blood Crow King would return shortly, and thus, when he used the Imperial Edict to escape, he had chosen to escape in the direction of Godfalling Ridge. After all, Cyan Cloud County and the evil Emperor City were too far apart. Even with an Imperial Edict, it was impossible to escape all the way back. On the contrary, if he escaped in the direction of Godfalling Ridge, he only had to wait for the Blood Crown King to come back. Given his power, it was enough to subdue Zhang Yuochen. Hearing Di's words, the Blood Crow King developed a curious expression. A vertical eye rose between his brows and formed the light of a sky eye. He used it to try to see through the mask on Zhang Yuochen's face. Unfortunately, a powerful spiritual power was imbued into the mask, and it blocked the power of the sky eye, which just bounced off. The Blood Crown King pulled back his sky eye and made a quiet sound. What powerful spiritual power! It must have reached the 44th level. Is he perhaps the Great Guardian of Red Willow Heights? Di shook his head and smiled. A Great Guardian is indeed a Great Guardian, but he still has another, more powerful identity. Have you heard of the Time and Space Descendants? A blood-red light emanated from the Blood Crow King's eyes. He looked shocked. Haven't the Time and Space Descendants all died? Perhaps the deaths were faked. If you lift the mask off his face, won't you be able to tell whether or not he is dead? Di replied. The Blood Crown King also became excited about Zhang Yuochen's true identity. He immediately began to rub his hands. His expression was eager. If the Time and Space Descendants had not died, perhaps they would be able to reveal an enormous secret. Zhang Yuochen stared at the body on the back of the flaming red crow prince and recognized the person. It was actually the young disciple of the Yin and Yang sect, Lin Yue. When Zhang Yuochen had given him the body of the Serene Blue Emissary, it had been a windfall for such a greedy person as him. Not only could he use it to become famous, furthermore, he could use it to gain a wealth of practice resources. As long as he returned to the Yin and Yang sect, no matter how powerful the black market it was, it would not be able to control him. Unexpectedly, after such a long time, he still had not returned to the Yin and Yang sect, and he died at the hands of the evil warriors of the black market. It was his own fault. There was nothing wrong in wanting to be famous. The problem was that he was too stupid. How was Zhang Yuochen to know that after Lin Yue had received the Imperial Edict from the Serene Blue Emissary, he had become fearless, sure that no one would be able to kill him? However, Lin Yue had run into the Blood Crow King. The difference in cultivation between the two of them was too great. Before he even had a chance to activate the saint power of the Imperial Edict, the Blood Crow King had already killed him. In summary, death comes to those who seek death. Di clasped his hands in front of his chest and looked playful. Zhang Yuochen, you weren't able to kill me, So the person who will die right now is you. Not only had the Blood Crow King's spiritual power reached the 44th level, he was also a powerful beast trainer, and he could ride on thousands of flaming red crows. By himself, he could destroy 100,000 elite troops. Even if 5 monks in the 9th change of the Fish Dragon realm banded together, they would still not be a match for him. Thus, naturally, Yi was sufficiently confident that the Blood Crow King could kill Zhang Yuochen. Zhang Yuochen shook his head and smiled slightly as he turned his gaze toward the horizon. Whiz! A streak of holy light flashed across the inky black sky above, like a shooting star. It dove down, turned into a slender shadow, and landed beside Zhang Yuochen. It was the demonic saintess, Mu Lingxi. Mu Lingxi put away the imperial edict in her hand, and the holy light on her body gradually dissipated, revealing a graceful figure. She stood shoulder to shoulder with Zhang Yuochen. As a saintess of demonic school, naturally, Mu Lingxi carried an imperial edict. Earlier, when the cyan-robed emissary had used the imperial edict to escape, Mu Lingxi could have used her imperial edict to pursue him. However, each use of the imperial edict reduced its power. The cyan-robed emissary was the Red Wish emissary's enemy, but she was not Mu Lingxi's enemy. It would have been an unnecessary waste of the sent power of the imperial edict to pursue the cyan-robed emissary. It was different this time. Mu Lingxi had used the power of the imperial edict for Zhang Yuochen. She had caught up quickly to give him a hand in completely getting rid of Yi. Another one, coming to their death. The Blood Crow King smiled coldly. Zhang Yuochen glanced at the Blood Crow King, and his expression did not change at all. Lightly, he asked, "Is that so?" As he spoke, he took out a fist-sized black metal ball from within his spatial ring. Moving his genuine chi, he activated the inscription on the metal ball. The black metal ball immediately began to spin quickly, and crackling sounds came from within. Very quickly, it turned into a 10-foot-tall refining warrior. Zhang Yuochen flicked his finger, and a holy stone flew out from his fingertip and landed in the cavity in the refining warrior's chest. Swoosh! The holy stone in the cavity spun quickly. The holy chi in the holy stone shot out and activated the inscription inside the refining warrior. Immediately, a powerful aura exploded from inside the refining warrior. 2 balls of green fire rose in its empty eye sockets. Refining warrior. Surprise appeared on the Blood Crow King's face. It was clear that he had not expected Zhang Yuochen to have such a trump card. He was truly very powerful. Even a warrior in the 9th change of the Fish Dragon realm would not be of importance to him. But, when faced with a refining warrior, he started to have a headache. Yi had another idea. Only those in the imperial court can have refining warriors. Perhaps, the news of Zhang Yuochen being killed was fake, and the rumors about him being secretly taken in by the imperial court were true. Yi doubted that Zhang Yuochen had already entered the imperial court's secret organization. Thus, the imperial court would be able to blame his death on the 9 Serenity Sword Saint. Mu Lingxi suddenly nodded her head. She finally understood why Zhang Yuochen had wanted to buy a holy stone. It was because he had a refining warrior. Only by using a holy stone could the refining warrior utilize its strength to the fullest. Mu Lingxi chuckled and said, "Yi, looks like you'll still be hard-pressed to escape death, even with the help of the Blood Crow King." Yi huffed coldly and said, "Since you have a refining warrior, I won't fight you today. Blood Crow King, hold them back. I am leaving first." Now that Yi knew Zhang Yuochen's secret, naturally, he did not want to fight to the death with him. As long as he could escape from here, he would immediately spread the news that Zhang Yuochen was still alive. Many people would come to kill him. He would not need to act personally. The Blood Crow King released his spiritual power, and a strange sound wave roared from his mouth. Spurred by the sound wave, the sky full of flaming red crows let out an ear-piercing shriek. Like balls of fire, they struck crazily toward Zhang Yuochen, Mu Lingxi, and the refining warrior. Even the weakest flaming red crow had the strength of a warrior in the completion of the Earth realm. Furthermore, some of the flaming red crows had reached the level of a 4th-level savage beast. They were stronger than a warrior in the heaven realm. Thousands of flaming red crows attacked at the same time and completely buried Zhang Yuochen, Mu Lingxi, and the refining warrior. Zhang Yuochen, It seems that we will have to resolve our hatred next time we meet. But, I wonder if you'll be able to escape the Eastern Evil Land this time. Di Yi laughed loudly and took out the Imperial Edict again. As he was about to summon his genuine chi and activate the saint power in the Imperial Edict, a powerful sucking force came from above his head. Like a whirlpool, it pulled at his body. What is that? Di Yi raised his head, and the smile on his face immediately froze. A panicked expression rose to his face. A hand-sized auspicious vase hovered above his head. The powerful sucking force had come from the opening of the auspicious vase, as if it wanted to suck him in. Zhang Yuochen had used space moving to charge out of the group of flaming red crows and was standing about 100 feet away from Di Yi. He created a column of genuine chi and used it to control the auspicious vase. Di Yi, I said it before, you can't escape today. After I get rid of the Blood Crown King, I will come to clear my debt with you. Collect. No. A powerful look of dissatisfaction appeared on Di Yi's face. He immediately activated the holy chi in his body to try and execute the Heartless Black Cave Dharma Laxna. Unfortunately, Zhang Yuochen had struck out with the auspicious vase one step ahead of him. Before he had even executed his Dharma Laxna, his feet had already left the ground. With a whoosh, Di Yi's body gradually shrank until Zhang Yuochen collected him and put him into the auspicious vase.